Just after the dungeon break and the brutal deaths of those 3 students, the gates finally open. The orcs have arrived. Even if they're lacking in intelligence, they are born to be hunters. Their instincts are flawless. Their noses catch the scent of a human blood, and one orc slowly lifts its head.
This building is full of prey. Call our brothers.
The leader tightens his grip on his weapon, a twisted grin spreading across his face.
Now, the hunt begins.
Meanwhile, completely unaware of the nightmare creeping toward them, the students continue enjoying another ordinary day at school. Until 2 students glance down the hallway. Their eyes widen. They freeze. In a single leap, an orc launches into the air, its massive blade already swinging toward them. And before anyone can even process the horror, the scene suddenly shifts. Standing calmly before an A-rank gate is Jin Wu. While everyone else chats excitedly, Jin Wu quietly observes the gate, reading every detail without saying a word. Then, someone notices him. Within seconds, hunters surround him. Questions come flooding in from every direction. Questions about his summons, about his strength. Is he leading today's raid? Before Jin Wu can answer, the team's main healer steps between the crowd, rescuing him from the endless barrage. She introduces herself with a respectful smile. Moments later, Guildmaster Jong-soo arrives. Relief immediately appears on his face.
You made it, just like you promised.
He announces that he'll be leading today's raid himself, but the hunters exchange uneasy looks. They were expecting Jinwoo to lead. Sensing their doubts, Jong-soo reassures everyone.
As long as Jinwoo is here, you'll all make it back alive.
The raid begins. Far away, a far greater disaster is unfolding. Inside the Hunter Association headquarters, an emergency call suddenly comes through. The operator answers. On the other end, a terrified student struggles to breathe between sobs. She's hiding inside a school bathroom, covered in blood. The operator immediately contacts emergency hunters. They're on their way. Stay hidden. Stay calm. Then she asks the most important question. What do the monsters look like? The girl's trembling voice answers.
They look human. Green skin, ugly faces.
The operator's expression instantly changes. Orcs. At that exact moment, one of the orcs slowly walks toward the bathroom. It already knows she's there. The operator desperately screams through the phone that, "Run! Orcs can track you by your scent!" But that was already too late. The line goes silent. The school erupts into complete chaos. Students scream. They run for their lives. Some barely escape. Others never get the chance. The orcs watch their fleeing prey with frustration. Half of them got away, but that doesn't matter. There are still students trapped inside, and every exit has already been sealed.
Kill them all.
The hallways fall eerily silent. Inside one classroom, terrified students desperately stack desks and chairs against the entrance. 2 boys stand at the front, hands shaking, ready to fight, even though they know they have no chance. The classroom door explodes inward. Everyone screams. One student panics and bolts for the back exit. Hope flashes across his face. An orc was already waiting. One swing, one scream, and the student is cut down before anyone can even blink. Panic spreads through the classroom. Despair fills the air. But then, every orc suddenly stops moving. They sense it. A powerful, magical presence, far stronger than any ordinary student. Their eyes narrow. Their next target has been chosen. Because hidden inside the school is someone carrying extraordinary mana. And that person is none other than Jin Woo's younger sister, Jin Ah. An E-rank hunter, Han Sung-yi, seeing the danger in front of them, she knows she stands no chance. But with lives on the line, she still tries to step in. But Jin Ah stops her, knowing that she'll just throw her life away. The orcs lock on to Song Yi. "Is that the human?" The other orc answers, sensing something even greater. "No, there is a greater magic energy source besides her. It's that woman. Die!" The axe comes crashing down toward Jin Ah, a killing blow. But before it lands, one of Jin Woo's shadow soldiers emerges from Jin Ah's shadow, grabbing the orc's hand. Then, with brutal force, it clenches its fist and unleashes a devastating punch, sending him flying off the roof. The remaining orc freezes. Before it stands 3 red shadow soldiers, not monsters, protectors. And for the first time, the orc realizes the humans are no longer helpless. The scene cuts to Jinwoo inside the Knights Guild's dungeon raid. Their guildmaster shouts urgently that there's a 2-headed ogre ahead. Everyone stay sharp. The ogre charges. The guildmaster raises his magical shield just in time. The axe slams into it with terrifying force, but the team moves like a single machine. One hunter dashes in and slashes across the beast's eyes. 2 more rush forward in perfect sync, severing both of its arms in an instant. Then, 2 ranged hunters unleash a combined blast of fire and lightning. The ogre is engulfed in flame. And just like that, it falls. The guildmaster realizes the truth immediately. This raid is bad. Very bad. A twin-headed ogre at the entrance can only mean one thing. The deeper they go, the more undead they'll face. One of the hunters asks nervously if they should keep going or what. But then something strange happens. The undead stop. They do not attack. They begin to retreat, as if they sense something far more terrifying than themselves. They are afraid. They sense the presence of the King of the Dead, Sung Jin Wu. But then Jin Woo's expression changes. His eyes widen. This feeling, it can't be. He instantly senses it. His younger sister is in danger. Without hesitation, he turns to the guildmaster. "I have to leave. There's something urgent I need to handle." Jiangsu stares at him in disbelief. "It would be dangerous for us without you, Hunter Sung. Do you understand that?" Jinwoo takes a moment. "How about this? I'll call on someone you can trust just as much as me. He'll take care of things from here." At the same time, he summons Baru. Jiangsu immediately recognizes him, the nightmare from Jeju Island. Jinwoo continues, "Since you recognize him, I guess there's no need to explain. He'll take my place from here." Then he gives Baru a single command: "Protect the humans." Baru asks him, "And what about the non-humans?" Jinwoo's answer is cold: "Do as you please." The moment after Baru heard his king's words, he lets out a deafening screech. His bloodlust erupts, and his overwhelming killing instinct floods the battlefield. The hunters can hardly believe what they're seeing. Jinwoo actually expects us to raid with that nightmare? Calmly, Jinwoo tells them that these 20 shadow soldiers will help them carry on their mission. But the hunters are horrified. "You're just going to leave after setting them on the loose?" Jinwoo turns toward them with cold in his eyes. "I'll dismiss them before I go, if you'd like, but I don't think that would help you out." With fear in their eye, the hunters understand the situation. At that moment, Jinwoo bursts forward at full speed, racing for the exit, but the undead block the way. Jinwoo's voice turns deadly. "Don't get in my way." The undead immediately kneel. They recognize him, the one who commands the dead, their king. Even Jinwoo is stunned for a split second. Then he leaps into the air, summoning his dragon as he escapes through the gate. Outside, everyone waiting sees it. A black shadow dragon spreading its wings against the sky. Jinwoo gives the command in a low, dark voice. To my sister, full speed. The dragon roars and vanishes into the sky like a streak of doom. Back at the school, Jinwoo's shadow soldiers tear through the invading orcs, their blades ripping apart every enemy that dares to approach the students. One shadow soldier grabs 2 orcs by their heads, smashing them into the ground with overwhelming force. The green orcs are completely outmatched. The terrified students can only stare in disbelief. Wait, did those monsters just saved us? They are protecting us? Jin Ah's eyes widen as she recognizes them immediately. Those aren't ordinary monsters. They're her brother's shadow soldiers. But she has no clue how they got there. She believes that her brother came to save her. She calls out, hoping Jin Wu has come himself. Suddenly, one of the shadow soldiers steps in front of her. Without saying a word, he points toward the hallway. His warning is clear. Don't move. It's not over yet. Inside the classroom, the dungeon gate begins to crack. The final restraints have been lifted. From that, a massive throne slowly emerges. Seated upon it, the dungeon boss. Every remaining orc immediately kneels. I am Guroktaru, chieftain of the Red Blade tribe. And now, nothing can stop me. One of the surviving orcs quickly reports that there are 3 high orc warriors protecting the humans. Then, Guroktaru's face twists with rage. To think that the great orc warriors can't even take care of 3 high orcs? Pathetic. Just lead the way. It's time for slaughter. Meanwhile, back inside the Knights Guild raid, the shadow ants have completely taken over the battle. Several hunters nervously whisper among themselves. They won't attack us, right? Even Guildmaster Jong-soo struggles to stay calm. We can't abandon the raid. If we retreat now, there'll be no way to deal with the reporters outside. We can't stop just because we're afraid of some summons. He takes a deep breath. We move forward. Just as he makes up his mind, Baru suddenly appears right before his face. That scared the life out of him, nearly jumping out of his skin. Baru remains perfectly still, patiently waiting for his command since he's the one leading the raid. Trying to hide his fear, Jong-soo nervously smiles. Baru continues staring at him, waiting. The silence becomes unbearable. Cold sweat rolls down Jong-soo's face. Finally, he speaks. Should we go?
The moment the words leave his mouth, Baru disappears.
While Jong-soo was still processing what happened, in an instant, Baru reappears directly in front of him again, nearly giving him another heart attack. This time, Baru casually drops the severed head of a powerful monster onto the floor. Without another word, he turns toward the shadow ants. The entire army immediately moves. Everyone stands, frozen. One hunter quietly asks the guildmaster if they should follow them. Looking at the monster's head lying on the ground, Jong-soo finally realizes the truth. Baru eliminated the dungeon's strongest enemy instantly. An opponent that would have taken the entire raid to defeat was nothing more than prey. Jin Wu's summons are monsters beyond imagination. Amazed at how powerful Jin Wu's shadow soldiers are. Then there's no need to fall back anymore. The best option? Follow them. There isn't a monster in this dungeon they cannot kill. While still processing, a voice suddenly calls out to him, asking, "What's the holdup?" The members are already following Baru. Back at the school, the battle has completely changed. Jin Wu's shadow soldiers are being overwhelmed. Standing before them is Guroktaru himself. The surrounding orcs erupt in cheers as their chieftain effortlessly dominates the fight. Looking down at the shadow soldiers, Taru grins. An orc's tattoos are symbols of victory. They're proof of how many enemies I've killed until now. Looking at your tattoos, you should have killed quite a few. But is that all you've got? Keep me entertained, high orc warriors. With one casual swing, his massive sword crashes down. A shadow soldier immediately gets in the middle and blocks the incoming attack. For a split second, it actually holds. Then, Taru overpowers him with one arm and slices the shadow soldier clean in half. But seconds later, the soldier begins regenerating. He realizes that there's some kind of a spell here. No matter how many times he kills them, they're just going to keep regenerating unless they killed the source of that power. His gaze slowly shifts toward Gina. You, the girl. Grab that girl. The orcs leap forward, slicing the shadow soldiers before they can completely regenerate. Two more orcs stab the second soldier and restrict his movement. Even while impaled, the shadow soldier refuses to stop fighting. The students panic. Her friend tries to pull her away, but it's too late. A massive hand grabs Jin-Ah's face and pulls her close to confirm if she is really the source of that magical energy, and starts squeezing her head. Die! Just before crushing her skull, he suddenly freezes. He immediately drops the girl. Something terrifying is approaching. An overwhelming pressure descends from the sky. Even Taru begins trembling. His instincts scream at him. Death is coming. He immediately warns the other orcs to brace for impact. The wall burst open, sending every brick and stone away. Silence. Then, a gentle hand rests on Jin-Ah's head. A familiar voice speaks. You're safe now. It's sung Jin Wu. Taru's confident expression instantly disappears. For the first time, the mighty orc chieftain feels fear. Jin Wu slowly stands. His aura alone crushes the entire room. Trying to hide his terror, Taru begins speaking. I am Gurok. Before he can finish, Jin Wu cuts him off. You. Shut up and wait. His eyes are cold. Jin Wu shifts his attention to his little sister and apologizes for being late. The moment Jin-Ah hears his voice, she breaks down in tears and buries her face against his chest. The students let out a sigh of relief. The hunter has arrived. Jin Wu notices the bright red handprint covering Jin-Ah's face. Someone had dared to lay a hand on his little sister. The warmth in his eyes disappears, replaced by something far more terrifying. Pure rage. He calmly orders Igris to take care of her. Then the other shadow soldiers take the students and head down. The shadow dragon lifts one of its wing, carrying student down to the ground. The orcs instinctively try to move. Jin Wu, with his terrifying presence, I said, don't move. Every orc stops where it stands. None of them dares take another step. Even Taru feels the pressure. Staring at Jin Wu, he slowly speaks. I see. The immortal high orcs were his soldiers. Who are you, and why are you able to speak our tongue? Not a single word. The silence alone is enough to terrify them. Realizing there is no other choice, Taru orders his orcs to attack. The orcs charge together. One swings his blade, but Jin Wu casually catches his fingers. He crushes the orc's fingers like dry branches. The orc lets out a horrifying scream. Before he can recover, Jin Wu swings the orc and slams him onto the ground, and with his foot, crushes his skull. The other two orcs charge at Jin Wu. He activated a Dominator's touch and slams them together. Their bodies shatter instantly. Without slowing down, Jin Wu walks toward the rest. Realizing they have no other choice, the surviving orcs desperately charge all at once. Jinwoo bursts forward in an instant, speed blitzing between them, taking them all out at once. The battle is already over. Watching his entire army disappear in seconds, Guruktaru stands frozen, terrified. Before he can even move, Jinwoo appears in front of him. He grabs the orc's face and hurls him into the wall. The entire building shakes from the impact. Jinwoo suddenly pauses. He looks at the dead students killed by these monsters. A disaster. Why do it? Why is it that your kind wants to kill humans to this extreme level? The orc explains that in their heads, they're a voice constantly saying, "Kill the human." Jinwoo, frustrated, "Then what about me? Do you not hear the voice telling you to kill me? Answer me." The orc starts desperately pleading for his life, crying. At the same time, Jinwoo summons his dagger. Well, it doesn't matter. However, don't think that the process will be a painless one for you. With his dagger, he slices the dungeon boss like it's nothing, completely eliminating him. Meanwhile, back inside the dungeon, one hunter desperately struggles to stop a shadow ant from devouring a vampire monster, because they are worth a fortune. The ant ends up slicing her shoulder and completely consumes all that vampire. Baru appears. Without saying a word, heals her wound, then continues with his mission. The girl is stunned by his abilities. They finally reach the dungeon boss room. A massive door slowly opens. Inside, the Arch-Lich, the commander of the dead, surrounded by his death knights. The hunters immediately lose their confidence, knowing that their chances of beating that are very slim. The zombies that weren't consumed by the shadow ants begin rising once again.
She quickly uses her powers to slam the door shut.
However, she can't hold it for long. Then suddenly, a deafening screech echoes through the dungeon. Baru slowly walks toward the throne. The Arch-Lich speaks. "Who are you? The Shadow Army? Why is the Monarch's personal army attacking us?" Baru coldly walks toward them. "We have been chosen by the Monarch, and you were not." The Arch-Lich can barely believe it. "Impossible. I'll personally report this to the Monarch." Before he can finish, Baru speed blitz in front of him. His claw pierces straight through the Arch-Lich's chest. "You talk way too much for someone who's about to die." Baru drives his hand even deeper, taking him down and slamming him to the ground. His hand reaches inside the Lich's chest and pulls out the magical core, crushing it with his bare hand. The crystal shatters instantly. The Arch-Lich's body begins to crumble into dust. He never stood a chance. The moment his core is destroyed, every remaining undead loses its magic. One after another, they collapse lifelessly to the ground. Victory. Baru let out an animal screeching roar that echoes through the dungeon. The guildmaster admires him. "I knew it was strong, but to be this strong is amazing." Another hunter agrees. If they are this strong, then Hunter Sung Jin Wu doesn't even need to enter the dungeon and can still clear it by just sending in his summons. Jiangsu realizes the truth. Sung Jin Woo's power is much stronger than any large guild in their country. They start suggesting that maybe they should just join an alliance with his guild. After what they have witnessed today, raiding with Sung Jin Woo will always guarantee their safety, even though they understand that Jin Woo doesn't need their help. But hey, being a supporting team is not a bad idea. If you're enjoying these solo leveling recaps, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next chapter.